Have you ever wished your brain came with a user's manual? A guide that shows you how to rewrite the mental code that drives pretty much everything you do. Well, today we're diving into exactly that. It's called neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP. And trust me, it's a fascinating set of tools for personal change. By the end of this, you might just see your own mind in a completely new light.
Come on, we've all been there, right? You set a new goal, you decide you're going to change a bad habit, but for some reason, something just holds you back. It feels like this constant internal tug of war. But what if winning that fight wasn't about just trying harder or having more willpower? What if it was about something else entirely?
Way back, over 100 years ago, the philosopher William James basically pointed us to the answer. He said that by changing our inner attitudes, we can literally change our outer lives. It's a huge idea, right? But it leaves you with one massive question. Okay, so how do you actually change an inner attitude?
And that, my friends, is exactly where neuro-linguistic programming comes in. The best way to think about it isn't as some complicated theory, but more like a practical model for upgrading the very software your mind is running on. Neuro-linguistic programming. Yeah, I know, it's a mouthful. It sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. But just stick with me here, because once we break down each of those words, you're going to see it's actually surprisingly simple and incredibly practical. So first up, we've got neuro. This one's easy. It's all about your nervous system, basically your body's hardware. It's how you take in the entire world through your five senses. Everything you see, hear, feel, taste, and smell, it all starts right here. Then you have linguistic. And this isn't just about the words you say out loud. It's the whole system of communication we use to make sense of everything. Our words, sure, but also our body language. Think about it. A simple sigh or a raised eyebrow can totally change the meaning of a sentence. That's language literally shaping our reality. And finally, programming. This is where it all clicks together. This refers to our habits, our automatic reactions, the internal code that we run all day long without even thinking about it. And here is the big revolutionary idea at the heart of NLP. Just like computer software, these mental programs of yours, they can be updated. Okay, so that's the theory. But how does this stuff actually work in the real world? Let's get into a few simple but seriously powerful techniques you can start using right away. Okay, I want you to imagine you're on a really scary roller coaster. If you're associated, you are in that front seat, hands gripping the bar for dear life, feeling every single gut-wrenching drop. But what if you shifted your perspective? If you become disassociated, you're suddenly watching a video of yourself on that ride from a safe, calm distance. The event itself is exactly the same, but the feeling, totally different. This simple shift in perspective is a core NLP technique. See, by changing your mental viewpoint, you can change your emotional state in an instant. So next time you're feeling nervous about something, say public speaking, try it. In your mind, just step outside of yourself and watch the scene from the back of the room. You'll be amazed at how quickly that fear starts to lose its grip on you. All right, let's take that idea one step further. Do this quick experiment with me right now. Bring up a really happy memory. You got one? Good. Now, in your mind's eye, make that picture bigger and brighter. Just turn up the color. Feel that? The good feeling gets stronger, doesn't it? Now think of an unpleasant memory. I want you to shrink that picture way down, drain all the color out of it, and just push it far, far away until it's a tiny, blurry dot. The negative feeling just fades. It's that direct. Now let's talk about the linguistic part of this puzzle. I've got a quick instruction for you. Whatever you do for the next few seconds, do not think of a black pig. So, what just popped into your head? A black pig, of course. That's because our brains don't really process negatives. To understand what not to think about, it first has to imagine the very thing you told it to avoid. And this has massive implications for how we talk to ourselves every day. Telling yourself don't be nervous actually forces your brain to focus on the idea of being nervous. But if you just reframe it, if you ask a better question like, how can I feel confident? You totally shift your brain's focus from the problem to the solution. You're giving it a target to aim for, not something to run away from. So all of these practical tools, they all come from a set of foundational beliefs, or what NLP calls presuppositions. They give you a completely new way of looking at yourself and the world around you. And maybe the most famous of all of them is this simple but really profound metaphor. The map is not the territory.
What this means is that we aren't reacting to reality itself. We're reacting to our perception of reality, our own internal map of the world. And that's why two people can have the exact same experience, the territory, and walk away with completely different feelings about it. But here's the powerful part. You can't always change the world, the territory, but you can always update your map.
Another core belief in NLP is just so empowering. It's the idea that you already have every single resource you could ever need to succeed. I mean, think about it. You've felt confident before, right? Even if it was just for a second. You've been creative. You've been calm. Those resources are already in you. The trick isn't to go out and find them. It's just to learn how to access them whenever you want.
A classic technique for this is called the circle of excellence. Here's how it works. You think of a time when you felt completely on top of the world, just totally confident. As you really feel that feeling peaking, I want you to imagine a vibrant circle of light on the floor all around you, just soaking up that powerful energy. This creates a psychological trigger or an anchor for that feeling. Then you step out of the circle. Now, in the future, right before a big meeting or a tough conversation, you can just imagine stepping back into that circle. And boom, that feeling of confidence is right there, ready for you.
So where did all these powerful ideas even come from? Well, it all started back in the 1970s with this really unlikely pair, a math student named Richard Bandler and a linguistics professor, John Grinder. They looked at these genius therapists who were getting unbelievable results, and they asked a totally different kind of question. Not why are they so good, but how, specifically, do they do it? They started to model their exact language and behaviors, and in doing that, they basically created a blueprint for excellence that anyone could learn. So, when you boil it all down, the ultimate message of NLP is just so empowering. It's about a fundamental shift in perspective. You go from being a passenger, just carried along by your automatic thoughts and feelings, to becoming the actual architect of your own mind. So, I'll just leave you with this thought to chew on. If your mind really is like software and these tools give you access to the code, what's the very first upgrade you'd install? Would it be more confidence, more calmness, more creativity? The power to program your own mind? It's a pretty fascinating idea, isn't it?